It's Kristen Redmond, and today we're going to go over the planetary aspects that are surrounding us and affecting us for this upcoming week of September 18th through the 24th. And this week, the major focus is on the sign of Virgo. Virgo. And that is because we have the sun finishing up its tour of Virgo this week. This is the last week of this year where we're really going to be incorporating those Virgo energies into our daily lives and really trying to encompass the positive aspects that they enforce, because we have two other planets that are moving into that sign of Virgo this week as well, kind of giving us that extra push to really get things organized and balanced. And that also is part of the new moon that's happening as well, that we're going to be seeing on Wednesday the 20th. That new moon in Virgo, the one a year that we have, that really help us to bridge that gap between what we have in our mind and what our spirit produces through what we feel in our body. Okay, we have to find a good balance between all of those, and this new moon helps to really bring new beginnings where that's being called in our lives. So let us get right to it. The week of Virgo. Here we go. Last week of Virgo. And what is Virgo, huh? All my Virgo friends out there understand totally what this is. Virgo is the sign that rules the 6th house in astrology. And it is ruled by the planet of Mercury. Mercury, of course, is the planet of communication. It's the planet of thought. It's the planet of speed. And what it really focuses on in Virgo is the thought process and analyzing. It is the most analytical of the signs. And what Virgo likes to do is it likes to take a fine-tooth comb, and it's trying to sift through, and it's trying to comb through and get rid of all of the unnecessary items so it can get to the heart of whatever the matter is. And it's very good at discerning what needs to go. That is a wonderful thing about Virgo, is that it's very, very good at that. Now, it's not just about analyzing details and, striving for perfection, which Virgo really likes to do. Virgo in the 6th house rule our health. They rule what happens to us on a daily basis, our daily habits, the food that we put into our bodies daily, the amount of exercise that we do daily, and the general health that we have. Virgo also rules service, being of service to others, being of service to mankind. But not just that, it's our daily working life, what we do for our job. That's what Virgo also rules, because Virgo's an earth sign. It's down to earth. It's the most down to earth of all the earth signs, and is therefore the hardest working of the signs of the zodiac. So where Virgo lands in your chart is going to indicate where you work the hardest in your life, where you analyze the most, where you discern the details the greatest, where you strive for perfection the most. So here we go. That's what Virgo represents, right? And if you're trying to find a new beginning in any of those areas, if you're looking for new beginnings in your health, if you're working for new beginnings in your diet, in your daily life, in those habits that you have daily that you want to drop, if you're looking for new beginnings in your job, your daily work that you just can't handle anymore, are you looking for new beginnings in the amount of service, the amount that you give of yourself to others? This could be relationships, this could be working relationships, this could be marriage relationships, you name it. Are you doing too much there? Do you need new beginnings there? Do you need new beginnings in organizing your life? Do you need new beginnings in going through and kind of removing the clutter externally in your environment to make you feel better, to give those items away to charity? Or do you need to do some cleaning up here? Do you need to remove some of the old thoughts and memories and energies that are holding you back? This is the new moon that is the best of the year to initiate new beginnings under, for those things that I just talked about, all things Virgo. And this is a great time to purge things you don't need. This is a great time to take care of your body. So whether that's through doing a detox fast, maybe it's doing a detox for your entire body, a new diet regimen, incorporating more vegetables in your daily life, or maybe it's just something as simple as drinking more water to start. Whatever it is, this is the moon that really pushes us to do that. it's a great opportunity for us to really start fresh and to start new, because ultimately Virgo represents the Virgin, fresh, new, and that's where we want to get. You know, it's interesting because this summer especially has brought a lot to the surface. There's been a lot of endings that happened last year in 2016, the year of endings, that have led into 2017 being the year of these new beginnings. And in the process, we're still losing a lot of things. Loud truck going by. Especially in the summertime. The summertime has really brought a lot of those things to the surface. And so this new moon is really focused on healing where those wounds have been, healing those gaps where there's been some changes that have happened. This moon really inspires us to kind of take action, to bring balance back to the mind, to the body, and to the spirit. And it's most focused on that Mercury-driven Virgo ruled item of the mind, analyzing, really organizing our thoughts correctly, making sure that we have a good plan moving forward. Virgo loves to make lists, so this is a great opportunity this week to sit in the energy of this new moon that really wants to bring in these new beginnings and write out what it is that you want. Make a list of what it is that you want. Make a list of what it is you don't want, and burn the one that you don't, Or maybe just sit there and analyze with it, whatever your soul's telling you to do, because ultimately what it's trying to do is bring this major focus back onto how what we have up here, how it affects what happens here on our bodies, right? What we put in our mind ultimately comes out through our actions. And then that ultimately, when those two are out of balance, our spirit isn't very happy either. So this is the moon that calls all of those in. And it asks you, what is it that you really want? What do you really want moving forward with your health, with your job, with your service to yourself and others, and how much you give of yourself? Where do you want that to change? And it also asks, too, because remember, Virgo's about self-care. This is a self-care type of energy that's going on. What can I do for myself now? What can I lovingly give to myself now to help give me that push to move in? Because the universe is behind you this week, regardless. These new beginnings are ultimately behind you with the new moon in store. So not only do we have that's going to be occurring, we also have Venus moving into Virgo this week as well. That's going to be on Tuesday, the 19th. Now, Venus is the planet of love and money, and when Venus moves into Virgo, it's kind of it's like a step back, not a step back, what's a good word? It's kind of tough. We'll just say that. It's tough for Venus, because Venus is the planet that is a lucky planet. Jupiter and Venus are our lucky planets. So when Venus goes into Virgo, it doesn't like it because it's actually got to work. It doesn't have its lucky breaks coming its way. And things aren't as harmonious there, because Virgo is the sign where you have to work to get anything, to earn anything in this life. So in astrology, they always say there's always one sign where a planet rules and another sign where it doesn't necessarily rule, and it really doesn't like being there. And for Venus, that's Virgo. So over the next few weeks, the positives to it is that it gives us a chance to think, where can I give more? Where do I need to receive more? It focuses on that balance too. But it's also about getting to the nitty-gritty details of how you make your money and how you make that love happen in your life. Really, really analyzing the details of it and figuring out ways to make it work moving forward if you want it to change. And not only that, but this is also a great time to really focus on the health, right? Financial health, physical health, and beauty, because Venus rules our outward appearance. It's how we look, it's how we feel. And when Venus goes there into Virgo, that sign that's so focused on health, that is where we really get our energy and that push to get that done over the next few weeks, to find that health financially and physically. Problem side to Venus going through Virgo, remember I said it's tough, so it's a little bit tougher on love lives in this time frame, because it kind of brings it down to the down-to-earth, nitty-gritty brass tacks while you're in a relationship. So it's not so much romantic energy that's out there. It's more, what can you do for me and what can I do for you? It's more service-oriented. So the goal with Virgo is perfection. So you may also find that on the shadow side that you may be nitpicking your mate a little bit too much. You may be nitpicking on yourself a little bit too much. You may be a little more critical, a little more worrisome, because that's what Virgo does. It analyzes, but it can overanalyze to the point of worry. And so just watch out for those things as Venus goes through Virgo over the next few weeks into October 14th. What else do we got going on this week? So we got the autumnal equinox too, and this is really kind of perfect in the time frame that we have with this new moon, right? Calling into balance the mind, body, and the spirit. But overall, in general, as we go into the autumnal equinox, this is the time when the sun and the moon share equal parts of light and darkness in the day. So in a sense, it asks for us to look at the balance between our light and our dark, how we're doing inwardly, and how that's affecting our actions outwardly. So we get a chance twice a year. Well, we always have the chance if we want to look at it, but it especially comes into focus at the spring equinox and at the autumnal equinox here. And so as we approach this one, as it happens on, I didn't even write it down. I do believe it's on the 22nd. I want to say whatever, it happens before. No, I'm sorry, it's on the 24th, because that's when the sun moves into Libra. So this is the time frame when we really have a chance to really bring into focus how we are in that axis, right, between the mind and the body, and how we make those things happen. It gives us a chance to take stock of everything that has happened, all the changes that have happened since we had our spring equinox back in April, since the springtime. What is it that's changed, and what is it that we are looking for to really move forward? This is a time when we can really mend those wounds of our soul that have happened over this summer season, from spring into summer, and really bring things back into balance. And that's especially potent thanks to this new moon that's going to be happening as well. So what signals us moving into the autumnal equinox is the sun leaving the sign of Virgo on the 24th, and it moves into the sign of Libra. Libra is ruled by the scales, right? That's what it represents, that balance between anything in life. So as we really finish up this week, focusing on our health and on our work, how we make our money, how we can be of service to others, really putting that energy out there into the universe and where we want those new beginnings, then we really start to focus on the balance in our lives. And a lot of what this year revolves around is that Libra energy. Libra, which is ruled by Venus, and Venus, of course, being a good luck sign, right? It's a good luck planet. It's a good luck energy. It's about love. It's about beauty. It's about harmony. It's about balance. And then we have that beautiful Jupiter moving through this sign of Libra this year, the first time in 14 years, right? So this is a big thing, trying to really bring luck and opportunity through balancing the scales in our lives. But we have to balance them. We can't sit idly by and let it happen on its own. We have to do the thinking. We have to do the list making. We have to do the eliminating. We have to do the changing. We have to follow what our heart and soul is telling us to do. And ultimately, there will be doors that open where there were walls before, because the universe is trying to work with you to make you happier. Ultimately, all of it comes from this year of the heart, thinking with the heart instead of the head, the year of new beginnings. It's all based out of this Libra energy. So now as the sun moves into Libra over the next 4 weeks, we're reminded of all those things that we've let go of in order to bring better balance to our true happiness, our personal happiness, our personal goals, our personal life mission, because that is it, right? That is where it's at. The universe is asking all of us to evolve on a personal level, to build our gifts, to start living more on our purpose, because as we do so, our happiness raises. And as each one of us raise our happiness and our energetic levels with it too, raises the vibration of earth. And that's exactly what we all can do. Instead of crying and whining and being upset about how horrible things are and how terrible this is and what this law is and what that leader says about this, let's not look at that. Let's focus on what makes us happy and what we can do to make a difference in the lives of ourselves and the people around us. That's what the universe wants. No more complaining. Because you do that and that's what you get more of, right? You focus on the bad, you get more of the bad. So let's focus on the good and what your heart center's putting out. And that's what Libra wants us to do. Balance those scales. Another thing too that Libra really focuses on is on our relationships, our closest one-on-one relationships. So as the sun tours through there over the next 4 weeks, there will definitely be some sunlight shining on those darkest areas of those relationships. Marriage, business partners, clients, patients, you name it. Those close one-on-one relationships, our friendships, that is what's going to be called into focus and asking for those scales to be balanced even more so in that time frame. But good things come as a result, because we're going to be having the sun and Jupiter aligning too in this time frame, really shining light on that beautiful essence that this year is trying to do in terms of new beginnings for us all. So another thing too is, with everything, with the light, there's always a shadow side, and the darkness and the shadow side that comes with Libra is that it wants everything to be fair, absolutely, and it wants to see both sides of that scale before it really weighs it out and makes its decision. But in the process, there's indecision that happens. It's easier to not make a decision because you're seeing so much of both sides, and you want to play both sides of the fence that you can't commit to one. This is where the universe reins you in and says you have to make a choice. You have to make a decision. So you may be feeling that energy as well over the next few weeks as that happens. So that's about it this week. The only other thing that's really happening is that we've got Neptune out there in the skies making some pretty tough connections with both Mars and Mercury. So this is really going to be affecting our Virgo friends again. This is a big week for Virgos out there. A lot of reassessment of all the major areas that affect your daily life. But this is also going to make an impact on our Gemini friends, because they're also ruled by Mercury as well, and our Pisces friends. So you may be finding in this week, because there's oppositions with those planets, and Aries, our Aries friends, because you're ruled by Mars as well, that there may be some jarbled, weird communications coming through. A lot of confusion, a lot of brain fog. What am I doing? What's happening? What's going here? And then also perhaps by the end of the week, there may be some sort of secrets that come to light that you weren't necessarily knowing were there or knew were there, but they make themselves a little bit more known. So that happens for all of us, but especially for those signs, because those are your ruling planets. But that's about it, what we got going on for this week, everybody. So let's do a reading and kind of pull it all together and see what other energy they've got for us as we go into this new moon. Okay, my stones fell. And this guy jumped out. Little bugger, you get back in there. Okay. So let's see here. What angel is working with us right now? Helping us this week of the new moon with new beginnings to make fresh starts in our daily lives. Aw, isn't this perfect? Me, I love this stone. And this one I just randomly put in there, too. It was meant to be. This is a blue stone. And it's great, and I doubt you can see it. I really doubt you can see it. I wish you could. It's a beautiful dark blue, and it's reminiscent of the nighttime sky, that deep, dark, midnight blue. And it's covered in speckles. It's got little chunks and chips of copper inside of it. And it's very beautiful, much like the nighttime sky with its backdrop of stars. And that's so fitting for this week, because in a new moon cycle, there's no moon out there in the sky to see. It represents the darkest time when we only have our faith to shine a light out there for all the dreams we have. Our dreams are like the stars, so many of them out there. So that energy is very, very strong and potent this week through the blue stone, reminding us that even in the darkest time, that miracles and blessings come forward. So I see that as Archangel Michael coming through. He's very representative of those colors and the sparkles. If you see that in the corner of your eye, you know it's him. He's the angel that guides us in our life purpose. He's the one that protects us from danger and from harm. He's the one that protects us as we move forward in our life purpose. And he also severs cords with people and places that no longer serve us on our mission as we move forward into where our soul's evolution is going. So let's ask Archangel Michael. I'm going to do this 3 times. I feel very strongly I need to do this 3 times. see what his message is for us. Moving forward. How cool. I love it. Because I see it in many layers. Look at this. Look at many layers. We've got the dark horse and the light horse, if I could point at them correctly. And that is so, so perfect and indicative of what I was just saying about the vernal equinox that we have and this new moon that's calling us to bring into focus that balance and asking us, what do I want and what should I do for myself to help myself get there? This card says that when we balance those polarities, the darkness and the light, that once we come to terms with these things, that things move forward quickly. That is what the Chariot card represents, that things are going to get moving quickly. But it comes from that balance, balancing those energies. And I also see the number 7 as well. Libra rules the 7th house in astrology, marriage, partnerships, those close relationships. That's where we're bringing a lot of that focus into, right? This card indicates there's an important achievement. Self-discipline and willpower are very important, and we know that. Virgo teaches us that there are no shortcuts. You got to work hard for what you want, and this card is reminding us of that as well. And as a result, wonderful things happen, and it moves forward quickly. This is a card that says you were stuck in the mud, and now you are moving at full tilt. So that is a wonderful card for them to be bringing to us this week. But I'm also going to pull a card that kind of focuses on where these stagnated energies that keep us stuck in the mud, what chakra they're going to be lying in, and what message Archangel Michael has for us as a result moving forward. Just a couple more times. Moving on, quest. Wow, we've had this card so much this year, but look at what we've got here, the past and the future. More of that balancing of the scales, isn't it? Looking to the past to make forward into the future. This card is focused on the throat chakra. Now, what happens when our throat chakra is out of whack? Not only do we get sore throats or we have throat blockages or we're constantly trying to clear our throats externally, but what it's trying to tell us is that we are not being heard. We are unable to voice something from deep inside ourselves, whether that's to ourselves or to others. And maybe this week, as we're looking at that darkness and the light, maybe we need to hear ourselves clearly, right? The mind, body, and the spirit are trying to work in harmony together. So pay attention and listen and ask for Archangel Michael to surround you and help you understand moving forward, what needs to be let go, what to do, and how to make those lists, right, for removing the things in our lives that just don't work anymore and trying to make things better moving forward. So, thank you all so much for watching. Have a wonderful week. Bye.